We often believe that we have control over our lives. We make plans, set goals, and expect things to go a certain way. But how often does life truly unfold as we expect? Maybe you planned a peaceful morning, but a sudden phone call changed everything. Maybe you worked hard for a promotion, but someone else got the job. Maybe you tried to help a loved one, but they refused your advice. No matter how much effort we put in, things do not always go our way. This is because control is in many ways an illusion. Of course, we can make choices, and our actions have consequences. But there are countless factors beyond our control. Other people's decisions, unexpected events, even our own emotions. We may think, if I just try harder, if I just do everything right, I can shape my life exactly as I want. But this mindset leads to stress, frustration, and suffering. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises when we resist reality. We want things to be different from what they are. We wish people would behave as we expect. We wish life would always be fair. But life does not follow our desires. When we try to control everything, we create endless disappointment. We become anxious about the future and regretful about the past. Think about a river. The water flows naturally, moving over rocks and around obstacles. It does not try to force its way in a straight line. If we stand in the river and try to stop the flow with our hands, we will struggle. The water will push against us, and we will grow tired. But if we allow the water to move as it wishes, we will feel at peace. Letting go of control does not mean we stop making efforts or caring about life. It means we stop fighting against what is beyond our power. We learn to act with wisdom, without demanding a specific outcome. When we release our need to control, we open ourselves to life as it truly is. Instead of clinging to expectations, we respond to each moment with clarity and calmness. Ask yourself, what am I trying to control right now? How much of my suffering comes from my unwillingness to accept things as they are? When we start to recognize the illusion of control, we take the first step toward true peace. Everything in life is changing. The seasons shift, the sun rises and sets, and the body we live in grows older every day. Our thoughts, emotions, and relationships are never fixed. One moment, we feel joy, the next sadness. We meet people, form connections, and eventually say goodbye. Nothing stays the same forever, yet we often resist change. We hold on to the past, longing for things to remain as they were. We fear the unknown, worrying about what the future might bring. We try to preserve happiness and avoid discomfort, as if we could freeze time. But no matter how hard we try, change will come. And when we fight against it, we suffer. Buddhism teaches the truth of impermanence, anicca. Everything that arises will also pass away. A flower blooms, but it will eventually wither. A storm appears in the sky, but it does not last forever. Even the strongest mountains are shaped by wind and water over time. This is the nature of all things. Many of our struggles come from forgetting this truth. When we believe something will last forever, we become attached. We build our identity around things that are temporary: our youth, our possessions, our achievements. And when these things change, as they inevitably do, we feel lost. We wonder, who am I now? What is left? But what if, instead of fearing impermanence, we embraced it? What if we saw change not as a threat, but as a natural part of life? Imagine holding a delicate cherry blossom in your hand. You know it will not last long. But because of this, you appreciate its beauty even more. You do not demand that it stays on the branch forever. You simply enjoy it while it is here. The same can be true for everything in life. When we accept that people and experiences are temporary, we cherish them more deeply. When we understand that difficulties will pass, we find the strength to endure them. Change is not our enemy, it is what makes life precious. Right now, take a moment to reflect. What in my life am I afraid of losing? What if, instead of holding on tightly, I allowed it to come and go naturally? When we embrace impermanence, we free ourselves from fear. We learn to live fully in each moment, knowing that every experience, whether joyful or painful, is just a passing wave in the great ocean of life. Life is not always what we expect. There are moments of joy, but also moments of pain. Sometimes, things happen that we do not want. A relationship ends, an illness appears, a dream is lost. In these moments, our first reaction is often resistance. We think, this should not be happening. This is unfair. Why me? But the more we resist, the more we suffer. Buddhism teaches that peace comes not from controlling life, but from accepting it as it is. This does not mean giving up or ignoring problems. It means seeing reality clearly and choosing how to respond. If we spend all our energy wishing things were different, we waste the chance to find peace in the present moment. Imagine a heavy stone in your hand. This stone represents your pain, your regrets, your disappointments. You hold it tightly, believing that carrying it is necessary. But the longer you hold on, the heavier it feels. Your hand grows tired, your arm aches. Now imagine simply opening your hand and letting the stone fall. The weight disappears. The pain eases. The situation has not changed, but your suffering has. This is the power of acceptance. Acceptance is not weakness. It is the courage to stop fighting what we cannot change. It is the wisdom to recognize that some things are beyond our control. If it rains on the day of your important event, you can be angry, or you can bring an umbrella. If someone treats you unfairly, you can hold on to resentment, or you can move forward. If you lose something dear to you, you can live in sadness, or you can honor what was and open your heart to what is. The mind always wants to judge. This is good, this is bad, this should not be. But reality simply is. The more we practice seeing things as they are, without adding stories of blame or resistance, the more peace we find. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Right now, think about something in your life that you have been resisting. What if, just for a moment, you allowed yourself to accept it? Not because you agree with it, but because it is already here. Notice how it feels to stop fighting. When we learn to accept life as it is, we discover a deep, unshakable peace, one that does not depend on perfect circumstances, but on our ability to be fully present with whatever comes our way. Finding peace through acceptance is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice, something we return to again and again. Some days, acceptance comes easily. Other days, the mind resists, clinging to old habits of control, fear, or regret. This is natural. The path to peace is not about perfection, but about returning, again and again, to the present moment, to the reality in front of us, just as it is. When we recognize the illusion of control, we stop wasting energy on what is beyond our power. When we embrace impermanence, we learn to appreciate life as it unfolds. When we accept life as it is, rather than how we wish it to be, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. None of this means that we stop caring, stop working, or stop hoping for better things. It simply means that we meet each moment with openness rather than resistance. There will still be challenges. There will still be loss. But through acceptance, we can move through life with a calm and steady heart. We can meet pain with understanding, change with flexibility, and the unknown with trust. Each moment, whether joyful or difficult, is a chance to practice. Each experience is an opportunity to grow. If this message has spoken to you in some way, I am truly grateful. Your presence, your thoughts, and the time you spend here mean more than words can express. I deeply appreciate everyone who has supported this channel, whether through likes, comments, subscriptions, or even through super thanks. It is a joy to share this space with you. If you wish, you are always welcome to share your thoughts in the comments. I read them with gratitude and respect. Thank you for being here. May you find peace, wherever you are, in this moment.